Siegel's Home and Finance Radio Show, only on Financial News and Talk. Now live in studio, your host, local and national real estate expert and consumer advocate, Ron Siegel.
And hello again. Welcome to Ron Siegel Radio. This is the show with no real boundaries as we discuss current events, financial markets, politics, sports, even poking fun at the rest of the media. This is the show that connects the dots of confusion delivered by conflicting media reports. We connect the dots so you know the actions you can take, how your family or business can benefit from current events. Most of all, thank you for joining me. Before we get into our intriguing content today, please join me in welcoming our featured guest and repeat offender. Taylor Wilson is with us, NFP Property and Casualty Insurance. Welcome.
Hey, glad to be back. Thank you for having me.
Glad to have you with us. And let me remind you, if you ever have any home or finance related questions, I am the consumer advocate looking out for you. And you can reach out to me directly, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. or RonSiegelRadio.com. Just remember, that's the number you call anytime for assistance. When you call that number, it comes directly to me first. There are no operators standing by. I am it.
Quiet, numbskulls. I'm broadcasting.
While I do have a great team when it comes to developing a financing plan or plan to save you money, I personally work with you. Even if you don't have any needs today, save this number in your phone for future reference. 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. 90. You know, I look at the celebrations every day, and I look at this one here, and I say, how can you have National Hot Dog Day on July 18th? I don't know about that. Now, Nathan's has made it pretty popular that we have National Hot Dog Day on July 4th, don't we? Just saying. Sour Candy Day, I guess that's, we can do better than that, can't we? How about, let's look at this one, the celebration of the day today for me, little baked potato with caviar on top. Today is National Caviar Day. Like that one. We'll stick with, you ever had caviar on a baked potato? If you haven't tried it, you got to. It's about as good as it gets. Looking at the Dow Jones Industrial Average this morning, it is doing well this morning once again, up 83 points. Oil up just a penny, no big deal right there. We're looking also at 10-year Treasury. Once again, we have to go out 4 decimal places to find any change, so I guess we can just call that another flat day in the 10-year Treasury market. Just a thought right there for you. We'll continue. There we go. I knew there was some sort of a sound going on behind in our mics there, guys. I think they finally figured that one out. Checking out the news of the day. You got to love it. Mueller, Robert, special counsel. I don't know what makes him so special.
Nothing like a little air superiority.
Yeah, maybe that's it. He plans to grant immunity to 5 witnesses who could testify at the upcoming trial for former Trump campaign chairman Paul Manafort. I love how they put in the headlines, former Trump campaign chairman. He was a campaign chairman, I think, for less than 2 months. And that's the title that he has. Mueller is asking a federal judge to file the immunity records under seal in order to prevent the identities of the 5 witnesses from being made public. Like everything else in the Mueller world has not been leaked anyway, so we'll see about what happens there. Court filings say that the 5 witnesses who have not been publicly identified have so far invoked their Fifth Amendment rights against self-incrimination. Yeah, there's a lot of people with their hair still on fire. A second night of protests outside the White House after Trump-Putin summit. Smells a lot to me like George Soros and David Brock once again. But the second night of protests gathered in front of the White House on Tuesday, this time joined by, you gotta love it, Stormy Daniels' lawyer. Maybe she's still in jail. I don't know if she's back in jail again. Alyssa Milano, another one of the Hollywood loons, delivered speeches regarding President Trump's relationship with Russia and more. Like either one of them have a clue about what they're talking about. Do you want to listen to them? On Monday, after the impromptu protests, videos and photos show protesters chanting Putin's puppet and traitor and carrying signs that read liar. It's unclear how many people joined the protest, 3, though people in attendance said there were hundreds, right, who came on last-minute notice from the rally. Now, do you really believe that? They've got the All-Star game in Washington, D.C., and people want to go out there and protest at the White House. Does anybody really believe that?
I want the truth. You can't handle the truth.
Yeah, exactly. Americans may soon be able to get cholesterol-lowering medications and other widely used prescription drugs without seeing a doctor, a first step in what could amount to sweeping changes to how patients access treatments for chronic conditions. FDA in a draft guideline outlined how such a status, which the agency said could help lower health care costs, would work. Yeah, this is the same agency that just this morning came out and said that they're going to regulate what you can call milk. So coconut milk can't be called milk, almond milk can't be called milk, and the FDA, they're coming out with these new regulations. Where's President Trump? Can we get rid of more of these organizations and more of these regulations? Unbelievable. More news. Japan and the European Union signed a wide-ranging free trade deal that both sides hope will act as a counterweight to the protectionist forces unleashed by Donald Trump. The ambitious trade pact, which creates the world's largest open economic area, comes amid fears that a trade war between the United States and China will diminish the role of free trade in the global economic order. Rising concerns about protectionism, but I want Japan and the EU to lead the world by bearing the flag of free trade, according to Prime Minister Shinzo Abe saying at the press conference. So let me get this straight. The EU, which has less economic value than the state of California, and Japan, which I think is smaller than that, that's going to influence the rest of the world.
You know better than that.
Yeah, I don't think so, but it's good to want, right? I mean, they come up with these things. The EU, they're the same ones that came out and said that we had no friends in the world, and then we get $43 billion worth of extra commitments from NATO. I don't know about you, but I can't find too many people that I don't like, that I don't get along with, that are going to give me $43 billion. I just can't find that. But I'm sure the European Union they're much better at that. You gotta love this one. Now I can only laugh, right? Who are the leading candidates for the 2020 Democrat presidential contenders? Are you ready for this one? I gotta get a drum roll on this one. You probably never heard of any of them. Hillary Clinton, Bernie Sanders, and Joe Biden. Now, that's who the Democrats are putting up. Now, I don't want to cause trouble here, but I think all of them are over 70, aren't they? They might even be over 80 by that time. I don't know, but I mean, holy cow. That sounds like a new look department, doesn't it? I mean, that looks like, didn't they all already lose once or twice or 3 times? Of course, Hillary Clinton, you know, I won't go there. Rasmussen reports a national telephone and online survey says 73% of likely Democrat voters believe their party should look for a fresh face to run for president in 2020. Well, they don't care what the voters want. They're elitists. 16% disagree and think the party should promote a candidate who has already run in the past. Maybe Bill Clinton is available. I don't know. 11% are undecided among all likely voters. 65% say Democrats should find a new face for 2020, while only 19% think it should go with someone who has run for the White House before. You know, I did this story yesterday, and we talked a little bit about the young lady, 28-year-old in Brooklyn, who doesn't even know where Israel and Palestine are. Maybe they should get her to run. That might have as much chance as Hillary Clinton does. Now, here's a story that I just can't understand. I've seen it, I've looked it up, I've read about it. Got to understand how this one works. MGM Resorts International has filed federal lawsuits. MGM filed the lawsuits against 1,000 Las Vegas mass shooting victims in an effort to avoid liability. So let's think about that one. How is it that MGM files the lawsuit against the people that are the victims? I don't get it. But, you know, that's I guess it's just the old way that they're looking at trying to protect themselves. That is that was a Route 91 Harvest Festival out there. I don't get it. Middle-income student enrollment rates are falling at top colleges. Is that a surprise? While low-income student enrollment rates have increased. So let's get this right. The middle-income folks, those are the people that have jobs, their families have jobs, are working. They're tired of hearing all these liberal policies, and their kids are not going to go to college. The enrollment rates are dropping. The people that don't have jobs, their kids are going to go to college because they get to go hear more liberal teachers over there. Maybe, I wonder if all these are in San Francisco, where you don't even have to be an American citizen, a U.S. citizen, to vote now. Moving right along. Somebody talked a little bit earlier. We talked Bernie Sanders running for president again, and the young lady, I don't remember her name, Ocasio something or another, in New York running. Well, Chicago, they soon may become the largest municipality in the U.S. to test a universal basic income program. That's called communism. Chicago Alderman Amaya Pawar recently proposed legislation that would provide 1,000 families with a $500 monthly stipend, no questions asked. I wonder who's going to pay that money. I wonder where they're going to get them. Chicago's already bankrupt as it is. Oh, well, we'll see. U.S. car company gave an employee, and I love this story. I saw this early this morning. A U.S. company gave an employee a new car after he went the extra miles. Think about this one. What would you do to make sure that you got to work on time? What would you do to make sure you got to work on time? Well, this young man, Walter Carr, his car broke down, and he walked 20 miles to make sure that he got to work on time. Now that's dedication. That's an amazing story. Would you walk 20 miles to make sure you got to work on time? I don't know, a lot of people might get Uber, but the guy doesn't have the money for it. So what does his employer do? He gave him his car. He has a 2014 Ford Escape. So Luke Markland, chief executive of the moving company, Bellhops, drove from Tennessee over the weekend to meet the new employee. After chatting over a cup of coffee, Markland handed Carr the keys to his own 2014 Ford Escape. Now that is a story that you love sharing certain stories. That happens to be one of them that I saw in the news, and I thought that's a great story on both sides, right? The company, the management of the company saying, something, we appreciate you going that extra mile or 20 miles, and the young man doing it. Got a lot of great information. Gotta love it. You're listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate current events and the financial markets. Insurance stories. We're going to talk to Taylor Wilson about some of those do's and don'ts. Maybe we can learn something about property and casualty insurance. Demand for homes to buy continues to climb. Hey, are you tired of robocalls? I know I get tired of them. Got a simple strategy to stop them for you. I'll tell you exactly how to do it today. And we'll give you a little bit of insight as to the mortgage market and what's happening. All that and more. You can reach me anytime. Off-air number 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or RonSiegelRadio.com. Connect with us. Facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio, on Twitter @Ron Siegel. Hey, Caprice, I agree with you. We need more stories like that, but the lame street media, I bet they don't even cover it today. We'll see. We'll be back in just a few.
In the middle of a street, a house. In the middle of a...
Are you earning a safe, secure 10+% return on your investments? Is your credit score over 800? Are you living in the home of your dreams or simply where you think you can afford? If the answer to any of these questions is no, what are you doing about it? Text ATP to 79564. Complete a 3-minute complimentary survey, and the area trusted professionals of Ron Siegel Radio will reach out to you to develop a success strategy for you. Again, all you need to do is text ATP to 79564.
Did you know that banks and credit bureaus are rewarded financially if you have bad credit? And the worse your credit score is, the more money they can make off of you? How does that make you feel, knowing that banks are getting rich off of your hard-earned money? How does it make you feel, knowing that if a bank or a credit bureau makes a mistake on your credit report, they benefit from it and it hurts you? The Fair Credit Report Act of 1971 requires banks and credit bureaus to report only accurate information, and nearly 100% of all credit reports are inaccurate. If you're sick and tired of being broke and tired of being robbed by the banks, you owe it to yourself and to your family to call Rondi. Rondi is a FICO-certified credit professional and has helped thousands of people just like you get out of debt and establish great credit. Rondi's number is 855-608-1990. Again, that's 855-608-1990. Or visit creditsanitizer.com. Again, that website is creditsanitizer.com.
Are you a veteran, own a home, and need money? The Siegel Lending Team is here to help veterans refinance and get the money they need. The VA 100 lets you borrow up to 100% of your home's value, refinance your mortgages, consolidate credit cards, and lower your payments by an average of $700 a month. And the Siegel Lending Team knows that character means more than a credit score. Call 800-306-1990. That's 800-306-1990. Rate subject to change without notice. Licensed by the California Department of Corporations, NMLS 21037, and DRE number 018694552.
Are you a veteran, police officer, firefighter, doctor, nurse, or teacher? If so, you qualify as one of Ron Siegel's VIP heroes, and we have rewards up to $5,000 or $10,000 when you buy, sell, or refinance a home with one of the Ron Siegel radio partners. As one of the heroes, real estate agents will rebate part of their commission. Lending partners will give a credit at closing. The title company has special published rates, and many other service providers have incentives too. All you need to do is call Ron Siegel Radio at 1-800-306-1990. That's 1-800-306-1990. Or visit VIPHeroProgram.com. Just think about what you will do with all the rebates and incentives from the partners of Ron Siegel Radio. Just call us at 800-306-1990 so we can show you our appreciation for your service.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That's my message, and as your consumer advocate, I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. In the Mortgage Minute today, being brought to you by our friends over at Gold Star Mortgage. They are the only ones I know of that has the Fast Pass loan approval. Gold Star Mortgage, save $10,000 to $50,000 potentially on the purchase of your new home. Gold Star Mortgage. Yeah, the Dow Jones still up about 91 points. We're looking at interest rates. The 10-year Treasury is about flat. We're looking at the Fannie Mae 30-year bond. The bond itself, now I share this every day because I know some of you, I don't know why, but some of you might not have been listening yesterday. But the bond is up 3 basis points, which means the yield or interest rates are actually down just a little bit. That is the way, it's just a mathematical function. That's how they work. So we are looking at that and watching that the Fannie Mae bond is down a little bit there. So what's causing all this? That's always the important question, is what causes these bonds, these mortgages to do, or the rates to do what they're doing? Well, Fed Chairman Jerome Powell, he's giving his semi-annual testimony in front of the House this morning at 10 a.m. Speech will be the same as yesterday. He spoke before the Senate yesterday. Question and answer session can still impact markets. Mortgage Bankers Association reported that mortgage application volume decreased by 2.5% last week. Applications to purchase a home were down 5% and are now up only 1% from this time last year. It's amazing that purchase volume is higher on a year-over-year basis with extremely low levels of real estate inventory and higher interest rates. Refinances increased by 2% last week, bringing year-over-year volume down 28. Volume is down 28% on the refis. Ow! Yeah. Refinance share of mortgage activity increased from 34.8 to 36.5. The average 30-year mortgage rate ticked up from 4.76 to 4.77. That's a yawner. In the U.S., roughly 0.5% higher from this time last year. Housing starts in June dropped 12.3%. That's a big drop. 12.3% as the housing starts when we're already short on real estate inventory. Figure that one out. Additionally, last month's figure was revised lower from 1.35 million units to 1.337 units. Housing permits fell by 2.2%. And obviously the mortgage bond, as we've been telling you, is continuing to be squeezed between the 25-day moving average and the overhead resistance at the 100-day moving average. It's going to pop out. Which way, we don't know. But that's going to be the indication that we get some significant movement one way or the other. That is the Mortgage Minute, again brought to you by our friends over at Gold Star Mortgage. When you're ready for that next mortgage, Gold Star has the programs and the products for you. Give me a call at 800-306-1990. We'll take care of getting them done for you, getting you in touch with the right people to get that done, and maybe even save $10,000 to $50,000 on the purchase of your new home. So one of the things when you buy that new home, what do you need? Well, the first thing, I mean, obviously you need a loan, right? I mean, just common sense right there. Still got a lot of background noise, guys. I don't know where it's coming from. Whoa, that's an interesting one. But we're going to wonder where that sound is. John, maybe you can still try and clean that up for us. I don't know. Are you able to hear that background noise? Maybe there's just the hollowness between my ears. I don't know. We'll continue on anyway. So let's talk a little bit after you get the loan. Before you can close the loan, though, you're going to need insurance. Taylor Wilson's here to chat. He's the insurance guy. So, is all insurance created equal?
No, not at all.
So tell me a little bit. What do if I'm out there shopping for an insurance policy? What do I need to know? What do I need to look for? What's the focus?
Well, mainly, depending on what type of, home you're purchasing, the beauty of what I do is being a broker. I have a lot of different options out there, for your clients to, obviously get them the best price for, the policy that they're looking for. And that's...
So is the insurance all about price?
No, not at all.
Okay. So, I mean, because you look at it, and I've got certain opinions on certain insurance companies, so I know that some we like, some we don't like, but the average person, they look at it, that they look at title insurance and say, okay, I got to have it, I don't care, just put it in there. And your home insurance, the last time I looked, I think I heard that it was something like once every 12 years we have a claim. Is that...
Well,
are there statistics on that are out there? I mean,
no. I mean, that varies. I mean, I have clients that have had 3-4 claims in 2 years.
Okay.
So it just depends on.
So it's all different.
Exactly.
Okay. So, and one of the other things that I know that I came across this probably 7 or 8 years ago, 10 years ago, and it was something that I didn't like, and I know that it's something that's a little different in your process, right? When I wanted to buy insurance. The phone calls came back real quick. When I needed a quote, the phone calls came back real quick. And when I had a claim, they said, call somebody else.
Well, that's where I kind of pride myself on is, if my clients are in a time of need with a fire or a water loss, they can always call me, and I have my team of the restoration companies and housing that they can go to, so they're not getting that 800 number. So when they call, they get me directly, and I can facilitate, where to go, who to call, and get them the right people out there to, mitigate what they got going on.
So it sounds to me, though, because it seems like the industry's going the other way. So you're the contrarian, so to speak, within the industry.
Sure.
Do the insurance companies get upset about that?
No. With maybe other companies, they might, that's where they want them to call the 800 number. But my clients can always call the 800 number, but they're not just going to get that white glove prompt service that they expect when, your homes, if there's a fire or a water loss. I mean, they need someone now.
Right.
Because obviously with water, you got to turn the water off. You don't have, anything going on in the house. So it's my job to, get the right people out there and, get their house back in order as the quickest way possible. And sometimes it's not something that's, very quick. Sometimes if there's a major water loss or a fire, it could take 6-8 months, to get their house back. And that's when we try to find them, the correct other places to live, whether it's a hotel or renting another house or whatever the situation is, to make them feel comfortable so they're not, missing a beat.
Now, I would suggest that in most instances, You know, and we're certainly not gonna suggest this, but for the most part, people, you know, you go and you buy an insurance policy, and I would submit that like maybe 10% of the people might read the policy. If that many.
If that many.
Right. Right. So you bought something, but you really have no clue what you bought. Right. Is that? Do you find that? I mean, am I the oddball, or well? A lot of people say I'm an oddball, but is that a normal assessment?
Yes.
Okay. So then the insurance companies end up, you know, their adjusters know the policy inside and out. So I'm really at a big disadvantage the minute I make that phone call, aren't I?
Well, and that's where I come in to facilitate and educate the client on, you know, what's covered. And initially when we write the policy, you know, I try to, you know, let them know, you know, what the ins and outs of the policy are, what's covered, what's not covered. So when there is a time of loss, they actually know, you know, kind of what they're getting into. And if we get some pushback from the adjuster on what's not covered and what's covered, that's where I step in and try to, you know, get in the middle and
kind of be a broker again,
exactly.
or educate one side or the other.
Yes, because there's a lot of pushback. Some of these carriers, you know, you think they're going to have, you know, cover something, and they don't, and then there's a disconnect between the adjuster and the client. And then that's when some problems happen. So, you know, with most of the, I'd say, well, most of the claims of my clients, I'm out there. I'll show up, make sure everything's good, make sure.
Sounds old school, Taylor.
It's the way I handle things.
No, that's a big difference, because a lot of times, I mean, I talk to a lot of insurance people. Heck, I had an insurance agent for 20 years. I never met the guy. Right? So it's a big, big difference about the way not all insurance people. Now, what I want to find out from Taylor is how much does all this white glove service cost, and am I going to have to pay a lot of extra money? So we'll talk about that when we come back. You're listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate, current events, and the financial markets. We're going to also chat the surefire method. We've found it. Now it's just a matter of you using it to stop robocalls. Now, if you like the robocalls, I can put you on every list you want to, but most people I know don't like all those robocalls, the fake calls, the spoofed calls that look like it's coming from your area code, your prefix of your phone number. Got a way to stop that for you. We'll talk about that when we come back. You're listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate, current events, and the financial markets. You can reach me anytime. Our off-air number, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com. Connect with us. Facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio, on Twitter @Ron Siegel. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Are you earning a safe, secure 10+% return on your investments? Is your credit score over 800? Are you living in the home of your dreams, or simply where you think you can afford? If the answer to any of these questions is no, what are you doing about it? Text ATP to 79564. Complete a 3-minute complimentary survey, and the area trusted professionals of Ron Siegel Radio will reach out to you to develop a success strategy for you. Again, all you need to do is text ATP to 79564.
Did you know that banks and credit bureaus are rewarded financially if you have bad credit? And the worse your credit score is, the more money they can make off of you? How does that make you feel, knowing that banks are getting rich off of your hard-earned money? How does it make you feel, knowing that if a bank or a credit bureau makes a mistake on your credit report, they benefit from it and it hurts you? The Fair Credit Report Act of 1971 requires banks and credit bureaus to report only accurate information, and nearly 100% of all credit reports are inaccurate. If you're sick and tired of being broke and tired of being robbed by the banks, you owe it to yourself and to your family to call Rondi. Rondi is a FICO-certified credit professional and has helped thousands of people just like you get out of debt and establish great credit. Rondi's number is 855-608-1990. Again, that's 855-608-1990. Or visit creditsanitizer.com. Again, that website is creditsanitizer.com.
Are you a veteran, own a home, and need money? The Siegel Lending Team is here to help veterans refinance and get the money they need. The VA 100 lets you borrow up to 100% of your home's value, refinance your mortgages, consolidate credit cards, and lower your payments by an average of $700 a month. And the Siegel Lending Team knows that that character means more than a credit score. Call 800-306-1990. That's 800-306-1990. Rate subject to change without notice. Licensed by the California Department of Corporations, NMLS 21037, and DRE number 018694552.
Are you a veteran, police officer, firefighter, doctor, nurse, or teacher? If so, you qualify as one of Ron Siegel's VIP heroes, and we have rewards up to $5,000 or $10,000 when you buy, sell, or refinance a home with one of the Ron Siegel radio partners. As one of the heroes, real estate agents will rebate part of their commission, lending partners will give a credit at closing, the title company has special published rates, and many other service providers have incentives too. All you need to do is call Ron Siegel Radio at 1-800-306-1990. That's 1-800-306-1990. Or visit VIPHeroProgram.com. Just think about what you will do with all the rebates and incentives from the partners of Ron Siegel Radio. Just call us at 800-306-1990 so we can show you our appreciation for your service.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That's my message, and as your consumer advocate, I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. The real-time real estate segment today being brought to you by the area trusted real estate professionals of Ron Siegel Radio. Text NEST, N-E-S-T to 79564. Find your dream home before someone else does. NEST, N-E-S-T to 79564. You still have to have a board of directors. I've talked to you many, many times about that. Have you ever noticed how many corporations? Now, right now we're in the, you know that I watch the financial markets very, very closely. How many companies do you know of or have you read about that do not have a board of directors? Think about that concept. Now, do you have a household board of directors? Have you ever thought about that? Is there any difference? Who would be on your household board of directors? Well, you're going to have a real estate professional, you're going to have a lender, but you're going to also have a estate planning attorney, or you should, a CPA or an enrolled agent, tax person, financial planner, somebody that's helping you with your insurance, right? Auto insurance, home insurance, life insurance. Who's managing your 401k for you? These are all different parts of your life. Now, a lot of them will work together. A lot of them are completely contrary with one another, and all of that is good. Right? I know a lot of CPAs that say, you know something, I don't want to do what that financial planner is saying. It's too risky. Well, that's good. You need to have those counterbalances and have those conversations so that you can make an informed decision. You got to have that household board of directors. So that's part of where we get our area trusted real estate professionals that'll give you this tool NEST. Demand for homes continues to climb. Across the United States, there is a severe mismatch between the low number of houses for sale and the high demand for those houses. First-time home buyers are out in force and are being met with highly competitive summer real estate market. According to the National Association of Realtors, the inventory of homes for sale has fallen year over year for 36 consecutive months and now stands at a 4.1 month supply. Now you got to remember, it takes a 6-month supply of inventory for a balanced market, and we haven't had that since August of 2012. The National Association of Realtors Chief Economist Lawrence Yoon had this to say, and I quote, "Inventory coming onto the market during this year's spring buying season, as evidenced again by last month's weak reading, was not even close to being enough to satisfy demand. That is why home prices keep outpacing incomes and listings are going under contract in less than a month and much faster in many parts of the country," unquote. The question, though, is there any relief coming? Well, according to CoreLogic's 2018 Consumer Housing Sentiment Study, 4 times as many renters are considering buying homes in the next 12 months than homeowners who are planning to sell, which is the crux of the available housing supply. Renters considering buying in the next 12 months, 41%. Homeowners considering selling in the next 12 months, 11%. I think we got a problem. As more and more renters realize the benefits of home ownership, the demand for housing will continue to rise. Do homeowners realize demand is so high? With home prices rising across the country, homeowners gained over $1 trillion in equity over the last 12 months, with the average homeowner gaining over $16,000. That's a national report. California, you ready for this one? California, average equity gained year over year. I should get a drum roll going for this one because it's a pretty staggering number. $51,000. Now, when you consider Orange County median household income is about $83,000 and appreciation on your house could be $51,000, that's significant. Many homeowners who have not thought about listing their homes may not even realize how much equity they have gained or the opportunity available to them in today's market. If you're one of those homeowners, give me a call, 800-306-1990. Let's talk. Let's see if it makes sense for you to move. Maybe you can't find anything. I'm starting to hear now of people, believe it or not, now this was a fascinating statistic or revelation that I just heard. People are destroying their house so they don't have to move. Does that make any sense? Right? They're taking a 4-bedroom house, making one bedroom into a closet, making another bedroom, enlarging the master bedroom maybe, and they're taking a 4-bedroom house and making it into a 2-bedroom. That brings down the value of that property. Just think about that. That might not be the best solution, but that's what people are actually doing right now. That's the Real-Time Real Estate segment brought to you by the area trusted real estate professionals of Ron Siegel Radio. So we've been chatting this morning. Taylor Wilson is with us, NFP, Property and Casualty Insurance. Got a very unique way of doing business, and there's not a lot of this. I talk to a lot of agents now, and I talk to a lot of business people, and Taylor, we seem to be getting away from a service society, right? Everyone's going to this concept of call the 800 number, get into the phone tree, talk to the hand, so to speak, go online and do it yourself, and you're going old school.
Everything's in a call center these days.
Yeah.
It's an 800 number or an email, or there's no automation. There's no, I mean, not automation. There's no personal contact anymore. And everything's whether it's email, voicemail, call center. And
then you hope that it gets to the right person because you don't even know. The email might have gone to someone's junk folder or never got to the right person. I like the idea. I mean, this business model that you have is so different. Now, is it geared for the first-time home buyer, or are you only dealing with the luxury owners?
Oh, everyone. I mean, I treat all my clients the same, whether they pay me $50,000 a year or $3,000. I mean, I take everyone equal.
Yeah, all faces look the same.
Exactly.
You never know. I mean, I had a gentleman that came into one of my trade shows one time when I was in the merchandising business, and he actually had a bounced check from Sam Walton. Right? Could you imagine that at one time? In fact, I think his family is still the richest family in the world when you put all of those assets back together.
Sure.
Right, and had a bounced check. So, I mean, can you imagine having treated him like a refuse?
No.
Right? Wouldn't make sense. I mean, somebody might have really had a bad taste in their mouth. So how does that affect your extra level of service? How does that affect the real estate contract or the insurance contract? I mean,
well, it doesn't really affect it. Not that much. With the insurance, obviously you say they need to, have the policy, to purchase the house. But affecting the contract doesn't really do that much.
Okay. So, can you do that with any insurance carrier? So if I had a Safeco policy now and I'm going through a call center and not getting the service I like, could I switch to you?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, if someone's at Safeco and they're not happy with the agent, we call it a broker record change. Nothing changes on the policy. It's just sign it over to us. We do it every day, all day long.
Okay.
Usually it's with someone that's not happy, with their current, broker. They're, broker's not getting back to them. They're purchasing a new home, and there's just no response. And we'll take it over, and if we take it over, then we could see what else is out there, because that's what the beauty of where I'm at now is. Where I've been in the past, I haven't had that many carriers in that pool. Now I have everything.
Okay.
There's nothing I pretty much can't write.
So you can help us with anything we're looking to do. Now, how often should a consumer be doing a insurance review with their agent or their trusted professional?
We try to do an annual review on most everyone.
An annual review, okay.
Annual review because obviously the homeowners policies are 12 months.
Sure.
Sometimes we're talking to the client multiple times a year, or sometimes it's just once a year when they come up for renewal, because usually the renewals come out 35-40 days before the effective date, and we'll sit down, and if they've had prior losses, or sometimes sometimes the carriers get rate increases throughout the year, so that's when, if it goes up 30-40%, then we'll shop it.
Wow. 30 or 40%.
Some do. I mean, it doesn't happen all the time, but some of these, throughout the year, some of the carriers do have rate increases. They've had some, major losses, with the fires we had last year.
So is that their way of basically just saying, I don't want to be in that business in that area?
Pretty much.
Okay.
Because they might have got hit, with the big, amount of losses,
sure,
with the fires, and all of a sudden they're like, well, we're not going to, write in that area anymore. So yes, they will do, rate increases and kind of force. Either you're going to pay to stay, or you're going to, take the business elsewhere.
Interesting. Okay, we're gonna chat further with Taylor Wilson about this. We want to get into the idea of maybe he's got a story or two for us. Maybe we'll even figure out. We got a couple of things still in process here that I want to chat with Taylor about. You might want to know, how do you save money? Maybe you're short on qualifying for your new home. Are there ways that Taylor can help you qualify for your new home through the insurance process? We'll talk about that when we come back. You're listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate, current events, and the financial markets. We're going to also talk about how to get rid of those robocalls. I've got the method. I'm going to share it with you when we come back as well. You can reach me anytime. Off-air number 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or RonSiegelRadio.com. Connect with us, Facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio, on Twitter @Ron Siegel. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Are you living in the home of your dreams, or simply where you think you can afford? Are you earning a safe, secure 10+% return on your investments? Is your credit score over 800? If the answer to any of these questions is no, what are you doing about it? Text ATP to 79564. Complete a 3-minute complimentary survey, and the area trusted professionals of Ron Siegel Radio will reach out to you to develop a success strategy for you. Again, all you need to do is text ATP to 79564.
Most businesses struggle to get the online reviews they need to get a competitive edge over their competition. Rex is a brand new technology that uses text messages to direct happy clients to your online review sites, Zillow, Google, Facebook, and Yelp, and unhappy clients to a private survey, so businesses can win more customers. Try Rex today by going to www.meetrex.com.
Are you currently renting a home? Do you like paying someone else's mortgage payment? Why not explore the options to purchase your own home? Can you imagine a 30-year fixed-rate loan below 4.25% APR? This means with $10,500, you can purchase a $295,000 home and have a principal and interest payment of about $1,400 per month. What are you paying in rent? Does your family deserve the opportunity to take advantage of the current market? To learn more about these exciting opportunities, the Siegel Lending Team is standing by to speak with you. Call now, 1-800-306-1990. That's 1-800-306-1990. Or visit SiegelLendingTeam.com. That's SIEGEL LendingTeam.com. Or 1-800-306-1990. Rate subject to change without notice. Licensed by NMLS ID 217037 and 145502. Equal housing lender. Not endorsed or sponsored by any government agency.
Do you have a goal of mortgage-free home ownership? What if your home was valued at $500,000? Are you aware that a free and clear home could be costing you $2,500 every month, $30,000 per year? The mortgage planners at the Siegel Lending Team would like to show you how you can own your home, generate tax-free income, and accumulate family wealth. You simply need to call the Ron Siegel Team at 1-800-306-1990. That is 1-800-306-1990. By sending the team a copy of your most recent mortgage statement, the team will send send you a no-obligation real estate plan. You be the judge if this is right for your family. Again, all you have to do is send the team a copy of your mortgage statement by email to reap@ronsiegelradio.com or call today. Ron Siegel, 1-800-306-1990. That is 1-800-306-1990.
Rate subject to change and without notice. Licensed by the California DOC and BRENMLS 217037 and 145502 and Cal BRE 01869452 and 1866775.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That's my message, and as your consumer advocate, I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. The Word on Wealth segment today being brought to you by CreditSanitizer.com. You have a credit report, it is wrong. What are you doing about it? Credit Sanitizer has these solutions for you. You just need to register on the site, read the emails when they come out to you, and increase or improve your credit scores. It's not that difficult. Simple strategy to stop robocalls. Are you sick and tired of those annoying robocalls blowing up your phone? Whenever I talk about this, we get a lot of commentary on it. I know I get them all the time, and now it's even they've figured out how to do something called spoofing. I hate that spoofing. Do you know what spoofing is? Have you ever heard the term spoofing? Basically, what it is and I had this from a guy in Utah, and I knew he was in Utah, and I get this phone call, and it comes through from the same area code and the same first 3 digits as my phone number. And I know about spoofing, so I didn't answer the call. Then I hear the voicemail, and it says who it is. Well, that doesn't make any sense. Scratch my head. Well, basically what they've done is they've spoofed the call. They have a message comes out, and it says it looks like it's in your neighborhood. Horrible. It's a pain in the neck. Because now you don't know who to answer the call from and who not to. Well, there's a couple of free spam blocking apps, Hiya, Hiya, or Umail, that I hear are very helpful. There's other solutions, though. So here it is. Are you ready for this? Drum roll. Well, I'm not going to even do the drum roll. What the heck? Think about this one. Use Google. Google will help you stop this. Are you ready? Google will help you stop the robocalls. What do? And do this, if you go on LendingTree or you go on Zillow or you go on any site where they're asking you to put in a bunch of information, a lot of them, all they really are is there a method of getting your information so they can sell it to somebody else. How do you win that battle? Well, Google's the answer. Go to Google and set up, if you have a Gmail account, you also have access to what's called a Google Voice number. Now, you can set up your Google Voice number actually to be your home phone line. So whenever you have an application, you use that Google Voice number as your home phone number, and don't give out your cell phone number to anybody other than friends, family, people that you really know, your inner circle, right? Then what you do is you set up that Google Voice number. Even the banks, utility companies, Amazon, online services, wherever, they get the Google Voice number, right? Now, your friends, family, they get the cell phone number. Nobody else gets that. And when you give out that Google Voice number, you set up the Google Voice to go to voicemail only. Set up the Do Not Disturb on there. So you never get those calls. They always go straight to voicemail. Google Voice will then send that message to your email. They'll transcribe it and send you both a written and an audio version of that message to the email address of your choice. Now, if you're expecting a call, just go into your Google Voice number and turn off the Do Not Disturb and go back there later on and turn it back on again once you finish dealing with it. Screen calls is another Google Voice feature to use when you allow calls to ring to your cell phone. Once activated, Google will ask callers to say their name and then repeat it back to you when you pick up. We've tried this. I've done it many, many times. It's very simple and it works. Save you a lot of headaches. That is the method of stopping those robocalls, not having to deal with them. And that is the Word on Wealth segment, again, brought to you by our friends over at creditsanitizer.com. So we're chatting this morning. Taylor Wilson is with us, NFP Property and Casualty Insurance. He's the insurance guy. Now, I know a lot of people don't want to talk to the insurance guy, but if you get the right information, see, there's two different, the way I look at it, you can deal with two different areas of insurance. Now, you have to have it if you're going to be a driver legally in California. You got to have insurance. If you're going to own a home, you got to have insurance unless you're foolish. If you have the home free and clear, you don't have to have insurance. You should. And if you have a loan on the home, the lender's going to require it. So either way, you really need to be looking at it. There's a lot of different strategies, though, on how to save money on insurance. So one of the things, and you've got to, again, this is where it comes very important for your household board of directors to communicate with one another. So I'm going to throw this out there because, as you know, I lead a lending team. And I'm going to throw this out there to Taylor and see if this will work. You tell me if we can get this done this way. So Taylor, I get into this purchase contract, and our buyer is extremely tight on his debt-to-income ratio. You know, and it's his first home, and it probably makes sense for him to have a $1,000 deductible on his insurance. And I guess we should set the foundation. A $1,000 deductible is probably going to have a higher premium than a $5,000 deductible.
That's correct.
Right? But is there anything that says I can't change from one to another?
Not really.
Okay, so if my debt-to-income ratio is a little out of whack, I could probably call you up and say, Taylor, we need to have a policy, and because of his ratios, you know, I'm doing everything I can to get his interest rate down. He's maxed out on his down payment. We're in this tight purchase environment, so he had to pay a little more than he wanted to. Debt-to-income ratio is tight. We need to get him into a $5,000 deductible policy. That's going to cut down his one area of his costs.
That's correct. Yeah, I mean, once the higher deductible, you lower the premium.
Okay.
On it.
Now,
and I actually suggest higher deductibles anyway, because if you're not gonna, if you have even a $500 or $1,000 deductible and you have a small water loss, say you have a $1,000 deductible and the water loss is $2,000, are you really going to file a claim for that? You're going to pay the first $1,000, and then the insurance is going to pay the other $1,000, and then your rates are going to go up. So, it's just more what people are comfortable coming out of pocket with on a deductible.
So that brings up you open up. You see, when you say things like that, you open up a can of words in my simple mind here. So if I call the 800 number and start a claim, does that put a big red flag on me as a water guy?
No, mainly you're just calling, to inquire. About what's going on. Some people don't know their deductible. Some people, there's, a fire, water damage at the house. They don't know the extreme of it. They want to know their deductible. Should I file a claim? Shouldn't I file a claim? That's why I try to have them contact me first. We'll send the restoration company out there, kind of see what's going on, and then if it's something that's, catastrophic, that's, going to be, $10, $20, $30, $40,000 of damage, that's when you file a claim for catastrophic purposes, not the small leak under the cabinet or the toilet or what have you.
And I'm assuming you have a bank of people that can a Rolodex, dating myself, right? Of people that you can actually reach out to and say, something, I need you to go to 123 Main Street and give them a hand.
Exactly.
Okay, so the idea here is you can actually do that $1,000, $5,000 deductible, save some money. Later on, what I highly recommend many people look into, and you got to talk to your tax people, but maybe over time you get a $2,500 deductible, put the difference between the $1,000 deductible or $500 and the $2,500 into a Roth IRA account, start building up that savings account, and then continually increase your deductible over time, but you don't have a hardship to come up with that money.
Yeah.
Right? So you're saving money. Now, I'm not a big fan of trying to make the insurance companies more money, right? I mean, they own all the buildings that are around. The big buildings in every major city are owned either by the Catholic Church or an insurance company, right? So the idea here is to figure out these different ways of getting the coverage you need, protecting your family.
Correct.
Right? And getting the right coverage from a reputable policy or a reputable insurance company. Again, another thing that you really need a agent or broker to help you with, because you don't want to go to Ron's Insurance and hope that when there's a problem that Ron's there.
Well, it's like I don't sell price, I sell coverage. You know, you're gonna have to maybe pay a little bit more to have that coverage because I'm always the guy that they call when they're in need.
Sure.
And
so there's a problem, call Taylor.
Exactly. And that's, you know, it's always in a crisis mode. So, I mean, I always give them the option, this is what I suggest, and this is, you know, the policy that, you know, they're kind of looking for on price. Kind of give them the option, educate them. This is where you should go. You might pay a little bit more, but when there is a problem, you're going to be happy that you chose that, because if you went route B,
so you don't want Walmart coverage for a $2 million house.
Exactly.
Right? I mean, there's special things that are needed there. And in those instances, sometimes the companies will actually even help you with preventative maintenance, because that way they don't have to make a claim and you don't have to be inconvenienced.
Exactly. And that's what, you know, a lot of the companies, after we do write the business, you know, they go out and do an inspection and offer some suggestions on how they can protect the home, certain things with waterfall alarms, or, you know, the gas shutoff valve for the, you know, if there's an earthquake, the gas shuts off. So there's many different ways to, you know, help the, you know, the client out and prevent, you know, major losses.
Because the bottom line is most of us really don't want to have a claim.
No.
Right? We want to have coverage, but we don't want to have a claim because then we're inconvenienced and we have to go through the whole rigmarole. If you want some great information, great guidance, give me a call at 800-306-1990. I'll put you in touch with Taylor Wilson, NFP Property and Casualty Insurance. See what makes sense for you, for your family. Get that annual review and be sure to set that first radio preset button to come back here every day to join Ron Siegel Radio, where we only speak about items affecting your house and your bank account. Thanks to all of our sponsors. A big thanks to Dylan, who's engineering us today, and of course a special thanks to you for spending a little bit of your day with us. That's all for Ron Siegel Radio. Again, if you have any questions or to meet any of our guests, call me anytime. 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com. Connect with us on Facebook as well. And remember, make a lot of money so you can help a lot of people and have a lot of fun. Have a great day. We'll talk to you next time on Ron Siegel Radio.